Yes! Hello, today, look! We have Android 21 Good. What is so important about her? Well, it's very simple. Let me show you. I have her at 3 stars. Alright? And the reason why I want to show you this unit specifically is because we're going to be increasing her star level. This is my main account, and this is what I want to show you how to buff up your character's stars and make yourself look like a whale when you're not, in fact, a whale. Because I get a lot of people wondering, how much money do people spend on this game? And for the smart, dedicated amount of players who are free to play and have high stars is all because they don't spend their chrono crystals on everything they see. Today, we're going to try to get her to maybe, I don't know, 6 stars. Maybe that's too ambitious. I'm just going to show you how many stars we can get from just like a good old decent farming. And we can do that right away. So, let's say you get her at 2 stars, which is what I did. I actually then after that just kept on buffing her up to 3 stars with my Z power levels. But how do you get that? There's a couple of ways to do it. And so let's just cut to the first place, and I'll see you right there. All right, and the first place that we have is in the exchange shop. So if you don't know how to get to the exchange shop, just click on the menu right here. Click on the exchange shop in the middle left. So let's just go back because we're already here. All you got to do is you got to find the SP, clear the daily missions, and get Sparking Medals. You do this by getting your dailies done. You do this by also, fun fact, doing any extras that they might put in your recommended section. They do this once in a while. So right now, the Galactic Patrol does hand out these SP medals. And then lastly, you can also get these SP medals from the Happy Weekend summons that happen every Saturday through Monday. So if you have been skipping those and you need these SP medals desperately, that's the perfect place to put them on, especially if you're a new player. If you're a player like myself, I've started to skip them just because I don't need them as much. But I digress. This is the place, so let's click on it because we actually want to grab the stuff here because this is going to be very important. So as you can see, I have 22. So look at everything on the recommended. Ignore everything except for the multi-Z power 100 sparking or the multi-Z power 200 extreme. If you go for the extreme, you're only buffing extremes. If you go for the sparking, you're buffing the sparking. I value the sparking more than the extreme. However, there's always instances and cases where you should value the extreme over the sparking. Basically, what I want you to realize is that in the recommended section, the only thing you really want to focus on is that beautiful yellow orb. Realistically, if you're a new player, that is what you want to focus on. Everything else is bait. Just treat it as bait. The 50 Z powers of Masu and Metal Cooler, not a good idea. You can get them pretty much for free from the tickets. From the Master Pack tickets that you earn for free. Another thing, all of this, ignore it. You also get these characters for free. If you are spending your SP medals on these units, you are wasting your SP medals. Please don't do this anymore. Only go for the multi-Z power 100. So let me show you why in just a moment. So we're just going to cut to when I get her to 4 stars. This will happen the moment that I use this twice, and I have enough for 2 times, so we're going to do it. All right, and we're back. So if we click on her, she is now 4 stars. I used it twice because I was at 1200. Now I'm at 1400, obviously. So now if we use another 500, she will automatically be 5 stars. This is huge. This is how you're going to be buffing up all your units. Now let me show you some other places where you can also grab these Z power levels because I'm sure you're dying to know where. So the next place that I would recommend for any newbie, any beginner, is CoOp. So let's actually go right there, and I'll skip right to it. All right, so we're at the CoOp section. So as you can see, this is the CoOp. I always recommend, because we do 3 dailies per day, always do the top one, the advanced one, for the maximum amount of rewards for these CoOp medals. And these medals can be used in the exchange shop. So you can find the exchange shop in the exchange shop, or alternatively, if you click on CoOp and go to the exchange shop up here, it will take you straight there. Now look, those chrono crystals are very tempting. I get it. Skip them. Don't touch them. Again, these tickets, skip them. Don't touch them. Souls, skip them. Don't touch them. The other, you might, sometimes do the tank, but generally speaking, skip it. Don't touch it. You want to go to the recommended, and you want to go to the multi-Z power 100, 4 star or higher. And this is why the SP gold medals matter so much. Let's say you pull on a unit once. It's now 2 stars. If you get 100 Z power to it, it's automatically a 3 stars. Now you need to buff it up till it hits 4 stars, and then once it hits 4 stars, you can start buffing it up with this. Otherwise, you would have to spend the exact same amount for the multi-Z power 50. Now, I'm not saying the multi-Z power 50 is bad. I'm just saying that you would rather be spending it on the 4-star and then grinding again for the next co-op to have another 5 of this ready on hand, so you can just buff it up by another 500 Z power level. That's huge. But if you want to get everything every single time, you would be getting a total of 750 Z power per co-op season, essentially. That's really good. That's a star and a little bit more every single co-op season. And before you know it, along with everything else, you will be buffing them into the red stars, like within 2 or 3 seasons, which is amazing because that's what I did with a lot of my units too. So just keep that in mind. All right? You get 300 from the exchange shop SP medals total. If you were to max out to 30, you get 750 from here. You're looking at 1,050 Z power level. That's almost enough for 2 full stars being granted to you. So with further ado, let's now see how much we can do with this one. But before we actually, power up the Android 21 good, as I've mentioned, let's actually go over to PvP because this is actually important too. Don't worry about this if you're a new player and you have not very good units. I would say worry about this once you get the hang of this game. So just let's actually go over there right now and let's take a look. All right, so we're at PvP. Look at the rewards, battle rank 40 rewards. You see that green orb? Yeah, that's what you want. At battle rank 40, that's when they start giving out 100 Z power level. You might be saying, but why don't you just go to battle rank 50? Well, here's the problem. To go to just battle rank 50, it's the same reward. So unless you plan to go to at least the top 10k, not top 20 or top 15, top 10k, that's only when you will get an extra 100 Z power given to you. Now, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. I get that. Just please don't stress over it. If you plan to go even further, then the rewards are better. At 3,000, it's a top 6k, it's still the same reward. But the moment you get top 3k or higher, that's when the rewards get better. You get 200. In the top 1,000, it's still the same, 200. And then if you get first place, it's 300. So you can get a maximum of 400 Z power per PvP season. The point is, most likely you're not going to be hitting number 1. Especially if you're new, you're probably not even going to be hitting the top 6,000 or top 3,000. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just focus on getting to battle rank 40 and no more. You'll get your 100 Z power and you'll also be getting some extra items that are very useful. Anyways, let's now go and show what happens when you take all of this and put it together, okay? So, let's go and buff up Android 21. All right, and we're back, and we're now at 5 stars, as you can see. So we just went up full 2 stars, just in the front of the camera with all the stuff. So let's actually go back to the co-op just so you can see that I used it all up, that we're now at 0 medals, but we're also without any 100. So this will restock itself next co-op season. So to take a look at how many days left, 15 days left. So that means you got 15 days to grind up more medals, essentially, in order to then be able to do the next 100 Z power level 5 times. Now, if you've been grinding these a lot, like myself, then you'll have a lot of presents. So actually, let's just grab the presents to see how much I get back from last season's, along with this season's, while I was piling it up. So let's actually take a look. It's probably not going to be a lot, maybe 1,000, maybe, I doubt it's going to be any more. If it's more, that actually, it's definitely over 1,000. It's over 1,500, actually. Let me just take a look and see how much, okay, so it was over 2,000 I piled up, but you see that? So you can easily earn a good chunk. So maybe you can't get the full 750, but if you at least get 500 per season, you'll be on your way to high stars in no time. All right, so quickly before we go to the official final way on how to buff up your characters with your Z power levels, let's take a look at the limited stuff. So, for example, Yamcha and Launch. Now, I know this is very specific to specific characters, but let's say you're working on the Wims team, aka girls, or female warriors. So, let's say you have Launch at 2 stars. If you were to spend 2,000 Chrono Crystals, you would get her to 5 stars. So that would be a great way to put your Chrono Crystals into a unit that you want higher stars on. I actually think that this is a great idea. Sure, it sounds kind of like, but I would rather potentially get more characters. But you also have to realize this is a for sure thing. Whereas if you were to keep on spending on your banner, you potentially only get Launch once and that's it. So this is just one quick way that you can also do it. All of these are not very frequent, so don't rely on these too much. So let's go to the final way, which is guilds. All right, and here we are. We are at the guild section. So before we even go further, make sure you're part of a guild. I can't stress this enough. Even if this guild is bad, it's better to be part of a guild and get any rewards over not being a part of a guild and not having any rewards. If you want to do well in this game, you need to join a guild for the exchange shop rewards. So let's actually look at the exchange shop. It's at the top, right beside the important button. So let's actually click on exchange shop real quick. Let's take a look. So there's recommended and other, but you see my guild coins. All right, so the more you win, the more guild coins you earn. So obviously, the more your times your guild wins, the better it will be for you. However, sometimes you get smacked in the booty by your parents, and that's the same thing when another guild smacks your guild in the booty. It just happens, you know? It's just, you can't get away with it all the time. But anyways, take a look at this. We have multi-Z power 30s. Now, I know you're saying, that doesn't look as good as the other stuff. And you're right, it isn't. But that's not the point. The point is, you take a look at how much there is, you look at how much I've earned over time, and let's say I want to put it all into, let's say you're into Fusion Warriors, you want to buff the red Zenkai 7 Gogeta, and because they're 7 stars, but you want them to be 14, right? Okay, so you just do 15 of that times 30, right? And you just figure out how much that is, and that's 450 Z power level. So obviously it's not a full star, but consider this, every single 7 days, guild resets. The guild fights reset, and these come back. So that means you can do it again. So the more you win, the more guild coins you have. Now, realistically, you won't be able to do this consistently. You will have to start saving up guild coins before you can actually keep pushing. So just keep that in mind. For this video, we are not going to be picking up any of this stuff, only because Android 21 Good doesn't fit under any of these particular tags. So as a result, I can't grab any of these and make it worthwhile. But for the sake of the video, let's say I picked a Fusion Warrior, then this would have been easy. We could have done another 450 if we wanted, because you would have to just look at 15 times 50, figure out how much that is, and then that's how many guild coins you'd be using. But there you have it. That's how it is for someone that is free to play, how to build up their stars, how to build up their units. So pick the units that are really good for you, that synergize with your team, and make them big and strong. And if you're really into competitive gaming, then in that case, you really want to be going after Zenkais. You want to be buffing up their stars to the max. You want to be having as best of a build as possible. And that could be for another video. But this was the Z-Power guide. So I hope that this was informative, that you guys learned something from this, and that you took something from this going into the next PvP match. Wait a second, that might not be a whale. That just might be a free-to-play player that put all their investments into that one team. And you know, at this point, you're probably right if you think that. Because the Zenkais have changed the game for better and for worse, but one thing they've done well is made everyone capable of being a whale. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to tickle the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe and hit the bell for more notificaciones so you never miss another video. Have yourselves a salty day, and I will see you in the next video. Mana mana. Saitama!